Ano
Yes.
pong tingin nyo dito sa issue ng mga Chinese workers, illegal Chinese workers in the country? How should we deal with that?
Unang-una, kasamang Ruby, I guess first we have to investigate. Talaga bang illegal alien sila? Because we have an existing regulation, we have existing law. Our law is very clear. No foreign workers will be allowed to work in the Philippines unless they were issued permit by the Secretary of Labor.
Okay.
Right? That permit can only be issued if there is no willing and able Filipino workers. Alright? So, i-determine muna natin sino bang may mga papel sa kanila at sinong wala. Ngayon, kung merong walang papel, illegal alien sila. Alright? So, after due process, bigyan mo siyempre ng proseso, may proseso yan, hindi naman summary yan. After due process, bigyan sila ng pagkakataon, explain nila yung kanilang presence here. If they cannot justify their presence here, they have to be deported.
Okay.
Now, pero tingnan natin kasi posible rin kasi itong mga Chinese workers baka biktima rin yan ng human trafficking. Baka dahil sa sabuatan ng ilang unscrupulous Chinese recruiters, may kasabwat dito sa ating gobyerno, either in the Department of Labor or sa Bureau of Immigration, tingnan natin. But in short, we have to look at it carefully, and eventually, after finding out na walang ang legal basis yung kanilang stay dito, or their stay violates our existing regulation, our existing laws, then after due process, they have to be
Pero
deported.
beyond the question of may permit ba itong mga to o wala, kasi sabi ni Senator Villanueva, actually may problema yan kung i-define mo lang in terms of permits. Kasi sinubukan namin ang daling bumili ng permit eh.
Yun.
Sinabi niya, na pagpalagay po natin, legal lahat yan.
Okay.
And I think ito yung pinakampunto nila ng mga ibang mga senador. The very point that we see mga Chinese workers working sa construction, working as waiters, working in areas na duda naman kami na walang Pilipinong gusto yung trabaho na yan o kwalipikado sa trabaho na yan. Doon po sa antas na yun, let's never mind permits, but do you think that at its face, there's something wrong when we have Chinese workers in these sectors?
Yun ang napakagandang punto. As a senator, isa sa function ng mga senador is yung oversight function. See to it that our laws are faithfully executed. Ngayon, kung nangyaring ang daming Chinese workers performing functions, which functions can be performed by available Filipino workforce of Filipino workers. Bakit nangyari yon? So that has something to be investigated. And thereafter, after pursuant to the exercise of the oversight function of the Senate, pag na-imbestigahan na there's something wrong, dapat it has to be stopped. That something has to be done to stop it. Dinideprive, kulang na nga sa trabaho. Kulang na nga ang trabahong na-generate sa bansa. Ibibigay pa ng mga unscrupulous government officials kasabwat kung sino man ang kanilang mga kausap. And deprive Filipino people of the opportunity to earn a decent living para magkaroon naman ng decenteng pamumuhay. Yun ang mas masaklap dyan. So something has to be done. And Senate can do its share through the exercise of its oversight function.